Now to a question this morning that Texas cannot yet answer. How will this state keep its voter rolls clean to keep people from voting in Texas and maybe another state as well? Republican lawmakers here withdrew from a multi-state program that did that. Problem is, there's nothing to replace it with. So where does that leave Texas counties, which are in charge of voting and keeping the rolls clean? Here's Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins. Judge, welcome back to the program here. Does Dallas County have a system in place to check voter rolls, or has Dallas been relying on the state to do that for duplicates in other states?
So we use ERIC, which is a nonpartisan, nationwide nonprofit that lets us know when people move to other states so we can take them off the rolls here. We send a letter out to people. If they respond, they have moved, they're taken off. If they don't respond, then they're held in suspense until we hear from them.
So Republican lawmakers in this state say, listen, we're done with Eric, over hysteria and misinformation that has caused them to walk away from it. How confident are you that Dallas County's voter rolls are going to be clean when voters go to the polls in the presidential primaries? That's 7 months away.
Yeah, not very confident, because what's happened is by walking away from Eric, as you point out, with no evidence that it's anything but an effective program, some crazy conspiracy theories that have no basis in fact from far-right pundits. So what we're going to be looking for now is our Republican leaders will come up with their own system, and that system will likely purge a lot more young people and minority voters. We should be focused on winning over the hearts and minds of new voters, not what the Republicans are doing, which is artificially keeping the voter rolls low so that they can win with the same group that they've had, and not allow the younger, the new transplants, renters who move to easily register.
How often did Dallas County get notices that there might be duplicate voters, someone registered in Dallas County and also registered in Colorado Springs, Colorado, or Oklahoma City? Was that often?
Often, yes. ERIC was very effective. It's the most effective system in the United States, and because there's so many states involved in ERIC, you're able to get really good data. In a place like Dallas, an urban area like Dallas with a lot of mobile people, someone may move to Colorado or California or move from there, and so we would be able to share information and make sure that we didn't have people double registered in the same election, because that's illegal.
How big of a deal is this?
It's a big deal. We'll have to see what happens with the state's new system, but it will, in all likelihood, disenfranchise people and knock people off the voter rolls that if we used ERIC would not be knocked off the voter rolls. Everybody should want election integrity, but here's what that means. Election integrity means that everyone who is eligible to vote should be registered to vote and be able to have their voice heard. And those who aren't eligible should be excluded from the voter rolls. We need to work on winning the hearts and minds of all the voters, not shrinking the voter pool as the Republicans in Austin are trying to do.
Texas law says the Secretary of State has to develop its own system to check for duplicate voters, which you kind of referenced there, or find a private sector company to do this. There's nothing else out there besides ERIC right now. Do you think the state can comply with its own law?
It either will not do that, and then we'll have more duplicates and problems, which the state will then claim as evidence of some sort of fraud that they need to make it harder for people to vote, or it will do it, but do it in a haphazard, hasty way that leads to people being knocked off the rolls. And the ones to watch for are young people, minorities, and renters who move around, right? Because if you're living in a house for 10 years, you're probably going to be fine. But if you're moving, if you're young and mobile, if you're a minority voter, historically, those have been the people that the Texas Secretary of States in the past, not this one, but past Secretary of States have gone after to knock off the rolls, as they did on their bogus, undocumented persons gambit 3 or 4 years ago that led to the Secretary of State being kicked out of office.
That was David Whitley on that one. Judge, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.